right, so the next thing we're gonna get into is the most improved teams. So for me, of course, I'm going with my Longhorns. So the past 2 seasons we've improved year over year, right? So year one under Sark we're 5-7. Last year we're 8-5. Like I said, this is Sark's third year. He's had back-to-back top five recruiting classes. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be in that conversation, winning a conference championship and making it to the playoffs. But we do have things that we have to improve upon. Right, one of those things being our offense. Our offense took a step back last year, and I'm pretty sure that's because that was Quinn's first year in the offense. And as far as defensively, we actually did way better than we did the year before. Our defense was ranked 34th in the country, and we're number one in the country in QB pressures. We're returning 9 starters on offense and only 6 starters on defense. But I assume that some of the guys that's gonna, win some of those roles, they had a lot of valuable snaps played last year. So I don't think we're gonna lose a step there. We just have to improve on third down, right? Getting on and off the field. So I know offensively we're 73rd in the country on third down, which is, you can't do that. You got to be better on offense on third down, and you can't be third and long. You can't put yourself in third and long situations. And on the flip side of that, on defense, we were worse. We're 89th in the country on third down efficiency on defense. So we're letting people pick up third downs too easy. So I think that, if Quinn can, be more efficient and take care of the ball, I think we'll be okay. We lean on our running game, and we're going to be okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at their schedule for next year. And, start off with Rice, but then you got Alabama, right? So that's going to be a good measuring stick for both teams, like I said before. But after that, y'all have a very winnable schedule. So I think anything less than 10 wins for Texas is not a successful year.
Oh, it's gonna be a failure. Yeah, if we don't have 10 or more wins, it's gonna be a failure. And especially being a fan and being all on all the fan pages. They're not gonna stand for it if, especially the boosters, all that money we got, man. If we don't win 10 games or more this year and play in the Big 12 championship, it's not gonna be good for Sark. It's gonna get ugly quick, and he immediately gonna be on the hot seat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So for me, the one thing is, I think in any program, the most critical year is that third year. Your team should be moving. And I think this is a pivotal year for the Sark to let us know what direction the program is going. But I think he's going to exceed those expectations. I do think they'll win the Big 12 this year. The talent is just Texas is more talented than any team in the Big 12 this upcoming season. He's had talent at USC. He's had talent at Washington. And he was the offensive coordinator at Bama. So he knows what right looks like. And I think he's the right man to lead Texas to the Big 12 championship game next year.
Man, this is easy for me, right? My Canes. We gotta change it. We gotta change it, right? Last year was one of the worst years in memory for me. There've been other years that have been more terrible, but I know that's not proper English, but I can't even put it in other words, man. It was a train wreck. And so 5-7, right? We had a preseason Heisman potential in Tyler Van Dyke, and he goes, he has a shoulder injury, which affects his play. And then inconsistency. They couldn't they couldn't win third down. They couldn't stop anybody in the trenches. So I think it'll be year 2 under Mario. Something that's not favorable for year 2 is a new offensive coordinator. I think they had a 9-win. I think that'll be a good improvement, maybe 8 wins, right? But it can't go 5-7 again or worse. So they have to go up, especially with the resurgence up in Tallahassee.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you can't to go from Oregon where he was, obviously doing great things. You got to have to make that transition in the ACC. Not saying that the ACC, that the Pac-12 is, a much weaker conference. They were decent, but being an ACC, obviously your competition is a little bit stiffer. So you have to tighten that up.
It's not even It's the Middle Tennessee States, man. You got to win those games. We'd have been bowl eligible with that one. You know what I'm saying? But we, like I said, got to do better than that.
All right. So the team I have for the turnaround next year is Nebraska. They were 5-7 in 2019, 3-5, 3-9, and 4-8 under Scott Frost. Right, total disaster. So they went out and hired Matt Rule from Carolina Panthers. And looking at his record, man, he's a turnaround king. He had 2 10-win seasons when he was at Temple, and then he had one 10-win season when he was at Baylor. They had won 11 games. As far as Nebraska goes, I mean, he came in and hit the recruiting trail hard. His team finished 29th according to On3 in the transfer portal rankings, and he was able to pull out. He has 11 transfers coming in, but he got 3 players from Georgia, and one of them was Eric Gilbert. He was a 5-star tight end in 2019, and then he also got a 5-star DN named LJ Sherman. So with Eric Gilbert, man, he's a game breaker. As I said before, he was the number 1 tight end in the nation. He played 1 season at LSU, and in that season, he had 35 catches for 368 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then that's when Ed Orgeron got fired. He left, transferred to Georgia, and then he only had 2 catches and 16 yards. And I think he had a couple of off-the-field incidents that was keeping him off. Plus, he was behind talented Brock Bowers, and then another tight end that they have, 5-star tight end, Darnell Washington. So with Darnell Washington, he wasn't able to get on the field as much. One of Matt Rule's staff is offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield, who's coming from South Carolina. And as we know, South Carolina started picking up steam closer to the end of the season. So I just think that Nebraska gonna improve significantly. Now, will they be in the Big Ten title game? No, I'm not saying that. But I do think they're going to prove enough to go to a bowl game. So I'm looking at about a 6 to 7 win season.
Yeah, I agree. So I seen firsthand what Matt Rule could do. He took over a 2-8, 2-9 Baylor team and turned them into an 11-win team, in 1 year. So I know that guy can get the job done. Think about it. He was there for 1 year and ended up getting that head coaching job with the Carolina Panthers. So that he got the juice.
He also, a lot of insiders think he's the reason that the number 1 quarterback in the nation, Dylan Raiola, he's going to be in the class of 2024. He was committed to Ohio State. He decommitted. They think he's going to go to Nebraska. His uncle, the offensive line coach for Nebraska. So if he can get that number 1 quarterback into Nebraska,
Domino effect.
Yes, it'll start bringing the recruits in.
Domino effect, yeah.
Yeah, they came, their second week on September 9th, they play Colorado, so that's going to be a good, seeing two programs that we foresee them on the upside of it. But they have a tough, schedule. So I don't think 5 to 6 wins is going to be a tough reach for Nebraska. They got Michigan on there. They got Michigan State, Maryland, Wisconsin, Iowa finishing off the season, right? So it's going to be a tough go for season 1, but that was a hell of a hire to get Matt Rule there.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it's going to be a tough call, but I do see a couple of upsets in there. And one thing that college football world has changed. Back in the day, it could take time to get your recruiting classes, your recruits in, got to get them up to speed. But now everything moves so fast with the transfer portal. You get an experience from other programs. So that edge that's coming in from Georgia, he's been there 3 years. I forgot how many stats, his stats. I want to say he had 25 tackles and something else. But these guys are coming in with experience in college already, and it helps your turnaround become a lot quicker.
But it also added pressure to you too, because they see that you're able to do these things. Hey, you can go out to the portal and get XYZ. I need you to win right now.
And what do you say? Every coach should get at least 5 years before they get fired. It seems like every fan base, every booster base, now, especially with the NIL money, it's like they're getting impatient. They want to win year 3. They got to win by year 3. And we were just talking about Texas with that. And And it's crazy that you go from five wins, 8 wins, and if you, anything less than 10, they're considered that not a successful season. And it's just the money that drives all the recruiting and coaching and all that stuff, boosters.
Yep.
Gotta win fast, man.
Gotta win now. All right, well, that does it for this episode of the Unbiased Room. Y'all take it easy.